Well, good morning, folks. This is Tim Ealer. Hope you all doing well this morning. Feeling a bit under the weather today, so doing the best I can here to get this video out and give you the most current information. Uh, we got light rain in the southeast this morning. Gonna be a rainy day, a good portion of the southeast. Looks like some rainfall going on into parts of Iowa and Nebraska. Um, Snow up here in North Dakota. A little bit in South Dakota here. And atmospheric river continues to pour moisture along the west coast. Um, most of Oregon, excuse me, um, Washington State. But the big story really today is the winds. Well, and the rain, of course. But so we switch just to the winds here for North America. You see right along behind the cold front here into South Dakota, North Dakota, winds 50, 60 miles per hour here. And along the frontal boundary here, the Rockies, Colorado, Kansas, even down in these areas, 20, 30 miles an hour. If we switch to the current winds, we can do that here. I'm in the current temperature, excuse me. You see how cold it is to the north of this cold front, clearly an Arctic boundary here. And with the temperatures the way they are, likely wind chills are brutal right now. Likely experiencing blizzard conditions up here right now. So, quite impactful event. Although, my friend Mitch, another YouTube meteorology, a real nice guy, he also commented on this, and I agree that like when you have a couple inches of snow and high winds, it still have blizzard whiteout conditions. Doesn't It's driven by wind, not necessarily snow amounts. You can have a ground blizzard without any snow falling from the sky. So brutally cold up here with those winds. All right, and we'll go over the wind chills here in a minute. First, I want to go over the satellite. Look at the satellite and analyze this real quick with the frontal boundary on here. Kind of busy here, but keep this in motion. Looks like a short wave pushing into Kansas with this cold front, right? And another one um, with another cold front behind it. That's a true Arctic boundary there. It looks like a stationary front and a moisture stream to the north here. It looks like a little disturbance short wave as well moving through. Enhanced moisture in the southeast. Clearly a boundary up here as well. You can see 40s and then the 30s and 20s up here in the northeast this morning. So what we're going to talk about today is the excessive rainfall, severe weather chances, go over the local area forecast, go over the current hazards for the United States. I know yesterday I spent a lot of time detailing every location. That took way too long for me to do. I'd love to do that every day, but I didn't even get finished, like going over every local National Weather Service office. So I'm probably going to go just through the national hazards on this page. We'll go over some model guidance, future temperatures, hazards, like we always do. Round it off with just a general overview of what we're expecting in the coming days in the mid to long term. So as far as excessive rainfall with atmospheric river, we have, I know I keep saying that, but that's what it's called. You have the slight risk and marginal risk here out west today. And you have the highest precip amounts are expected in Northern California, parts of Southern Oregon, in the Cascades, in Idaho, parts of Wyoming. Interestingly enough, it's interesting. It's not showing a lot of precip here for the southeast, which is forecast to rain today. I don't understand what the deal is with that. Let's do day one. Yeah. So the first 6 hours of today, highest precip amounts are into Oregon. Move and you see where the highest amounts are in the southeast and into Minnesota, into Kentucky and Virginia. This area moves further to the east here, and this area moves further south. And you can see up north here, the highest precip amounts in the northwest move further south here, right through today. That's at 6 p.m. All right. So let's try the multi-day, day 1 through 2. Maybe this gives a better idea of the total precip amounts. Or day 1, which is kind of odd. I'm going to go back to, sorry, I'm going to go day 1. We did all that. All right. Now I'm going to go the excessive rainfall outlook for day 2. Looks like there'll be a frontal boundary or something moving through the northeast tomorrow, Friday through Saturday, right? Along the northwest coast in parts of Eureka, Crescent City, Redding, Grants Pass, and into the northeast with the precip amounts. Let's go the day 2 for 6 hourly, every 6 hours. This is where the most are on the northwest coast here, into the northeast. When we're talking, half an inch or more in about a 6 hour period. So that's pretty significant. The system will move off the coast in the northeast, get towards the end of the day. Rainfall continues along the west coast. And then we have more along the northwest coast and the northern California. The system exits the east. And you still have some lingering precip up north here. So going to excessive rainfall for day 3. That area moves further south here into the northern California. And this QPF estimate seems accurate based on where the highest amounts are, right? If we go to daily for every 6 hours, rainfall starts off the most up here into Washington and Oregon. Some still in the UP of Michigan and in parts of the Colorado Rockies, Utah and Nevada. You see it builds in here in Northern California. With that system, another system moving up here into northern Canada or eastern Canada. Maybe rain coming back here into the southeast and continuing in the northern California, parts of Oregon, Washington, and interior Nevada, parts of Nevada, Idaho. Otherwise, that's about it here. As far as thunderstorms, for today, there's no severe weather expected, although general thunderstorms are possible anywhere in this area here, green shaded area. As the system moves off the east coast, thunderstorms are still possible along the east coast here tomorrow and along the northwest coast. And for day 3, still some possibility of storms along the west coast, northwest coast of the U.S. here. All right, so if we go a little bit further out, probabilistic, doubtful we'll have anything else here. Yeah, nothing on the map for severe weather. So as far as current hazards go, we have, let me take this off. We have blizzard warnings up in North Dakota, High wind warnings as well. South Dakota, we have high wind warnings. High wind warnings in all these areas here, okay? All the way down into Nebraska, Kansas. Red flag warning as well for extremely dry conditions. High wind warnings, mostly high wind warnings here. International Falls. Winter weather advisory. Let me put the radar back on here. You get some winter weather advisories. Interestingly enough, you got some blizzard warnings up north here, but it's hard to see the different warnings stacked on top of each other. All right. But generally, blizzard warnings up north here, high wind warnings, red flag warnings. But down south here, we have dense fog advisories all along the Gulf Coast, parts of Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. And along the west coast here, take the radar back off. High surf advisory along the coast. Flood watch. Some flood watches here into parts of Olympia, Parkland, Seattle. Winter weather advisory and winter weather advisories here for the Cascade area, like the interior valleys and the mountains here, and flood watches as well. Hood River, where my brother used to live, might be getting some snow possibly. Hard to say, but they're kind of low elevation in the in the bend of the Columbia River Basin. Weather advisory up here as well. We got a flood advisory all the way up in here into north of Libby, Montana. So California, we still got some dense fog advisories with this stagnant air mass in the valleys here, and wind advisory and air quality alert for the Los Angeles area. Same thing for the south here. As far as expected snowfall through Sunday, you see where the highest amounts are up here in the mountains of Idaho, Wyoming, Washington State, Seattle, all the different higher terrain areas here, right? Now we talk about ice. The possibility of some ice between now and Sunday. Parts of Montana, let's see, Montana, North Dakota, Wisconsin, into the western Pennsylvania. I gotta change this look here, but not a lot of ice expected here, maybe some minimal amounts. If we run this through real quick, we can see where the most amounts are forecast to be and when they're supposed to be there. Pretty much at the beginning of the period here. So what's the forecast for the local area? This morning, we're going to have temperatures generally in the 40s with cloud cover and rain overspreading the region today. Low temperatures tomorrow morning, expected to be in the 40s. Again, about the same as it is today. This was yesterday. I'm not sure why this is there, but high temperatures today, generally in the 60s to near 70 further to the southeast. And high temperatures tomorrow, a little bit cooler, with maybe a cold frontal passage, cooling things off a little bit, with highs in the 50s. The total precip amounts expected here today, last night through Saturday, maybe between 0.1 and 0.75 inches of rain for most of the area. So quite a big range here. Now from the National Weather Service office with this graphic here, they show a little bit different here. And this is the rainfall timing. Heaviest rainfall likely, most rainfall is expected between 12 p.m. and 12 a.m. So within a 12-hour period here is when the most rainfall is expected. And here's the amounts that they're showing on their graphic. I don't know why it's different than what I pulled up, but between a quarter and a half an inch of rain. In middle Georgia, between a half an inch and an inch of rain in North Georgia, and lesser amounts probably further south. And these are the graphics showing the arrival of rain and the ending of rain here in the different areas. You can see what this graphic shows here. Generally between 10 a.m. and or 9 a.m. and 4 a.m. for most areas. On when it depends on when it starts, when it ends here, but you could see different timing here. As far as future temps and precip amounts, you can see temps generally expected to be in the 60s today, 50s, 60s, and rising into the 70s around Christmas time, then cooling off some into the 60s, which is, you know, probably close to normal. I'm not sure why it's not showing the temperature max and min on this chart. It did a few days ago, but it's not here again. But you see the quite a big swing in here with model uncertainty further out. So obviously it's going to cool off some, but the degree of cooling we just don't know about that yet. Although 70s and 60s are pretty comfortable temperatures in general. Rain chances look to be on the increase for the foreseeable future, with chance of precip, it looks like each day, according to this European ensemble run here. As far as wind chills, remember we talked about the wind here, single digits and teens here, but wind chills in the negative 20s and 30s here, where the highest winds are, right? Into the northeast, it's relatively cold in general for air temperatures, but you see how warm it is pushing up to the north here, in the middle part of the country, 60s here, pushing way up north. So behind this cold front is where the highest winds are, so be mindful of that today. As far as data 3 to 7 hazards here, showing a frost freeze possibility here on the 20th, which is Saturday morning. Heavy precip along the Northern California coast just before Christmas. Heavy snow up here into northern Washington State, parts of Idaho, parts of Montana. Wyoming, excuse me, and Idaho. High winds here, the 20th through the 24th. Hazardous cold and high winds up here into parts of Alaska as well. So what is the future going to bring from model guidance here? This is the HRRR model, which goes out 48 hours, starting at 06Z here. And this is simulated radar, starting about 6 a.m. here. Generally, you can see it's pretty on par what's going on today. And along the west coast, you can see, northwest coast, how much rainfall is going to be coming on shore. On the back side of this 980 millibar low, quite far to the north here, and some rainfall ahead of this system in the southeast. Moving through time, this low moves generally up into Canada. Moisture streaming northward. You see all rainfall here with maybe a line of subsevere storms. Oops, excuse me, coming through the U.S. Forgot my pen this whole time. So yeah, cold front pushing through, line of storms ahead of it, right? So once it pushes through, it's possible we get some snow on the backside here. You see quite a high wind profile event here. You see the isobars, how tightly packed they are, right? So let's look at winds here. Doesn't really show the. Wish this would refresh. Sorry, guys, not refreshing. All right, but this is great. Nothing on the screen. So now that I finally got this to play correctly, I'm gonna go back, starting off about 6 a.m. today. See where the highest winds are. Parts of Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minneapolis, right? Those highest winds stream further south into Kansas. You see the cold frontal boundary here, right? And the southerly flow ahead of it. Winds subside on the backside of here, although along the lakes it's going to be pretty intense here. The winds out of the south generally, and you can see the highest wind totals here. 20, 22. This is just general wind. This doesn't show wind gusts. I'll have to go to different model, different look for that here. But in general, high winds will be pushing through that. Excuse me. Jeez. Sorry about that. We'll be pushing through this area, guys, as that front moves through, right? You see how the wind direction changes. Maybe some high wind gusts along the northeast corridor as well, and into the Appalachian Mountains here. Get further out, 48 hours. That front moves offshore with colder temperatures in its wake here. Generally in the teens, the 30s, and the 20s, with the cold air bottled up north here. So this is a graphic from the National Weather Service, Albany, New York, showing above normal temps expected up here. There's a wind advisory that's in effect. All of eastern New York, western New England, 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Saturday. So current wind gust forecast, 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gust. And given the potential scattered power outages, property damage, down trees, etc. So we got to keep that in mind today. I just want to show this graphic and a few others here, showing the maximum expected wind gusts for the different areas here, right, in different time period. Kind of a weird graphic here. I'm not sure why we got. Oh, these are different time periods. 7 a.m. Thursday to 7 p.m. Thursday today, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Tonight till tomorrow, 30 to 40. And Friday, from 7 a.m. Friday to 7 p.m. tomorrow, 10 p.m. tomorrow, still wind gusts in the 40 mile per hour range. So not overly excessive, but impactful nonetheless. Like we always talk about, use caution on bridges and overpasses. Just keep mindful of your surroundings and maintain a safe distance from, 18-wheelers. Secure loose items, trampolines, sports equipment, patio furniture, trash cans, etc. So leaving off where we kind of broke off there from the HRRR, we have the system exiting the east here with the high winds persisting into Friday. We go further out here. Quiets down a little bit, with the exception of the moisture streaming onshore here, parts of San Francisco, northern parts of Oregon. And they stream northern Wisconsin, Michigan, with that low pressure exiting the area. We get further out, we go to the European model. All right, this is the latest on the European. Low pressure moving onshore here, right? And we look at the upper level flow here. we've got a better idea what's going on. Low pressure offshore here. Pretty pronounced flow here from north to south. High pressure in general down here. Jet streams way up to the north here with this system up here. This is next Wednesday. So we go to the surface. Go back a little bit. See how far the north the system is up here. However, there may be enough cold air in place here for potentially snow and mixed precip on the onset. But normally when you have systems, but you can see this is interesting. This happens. This is one to move it offshore here, right? If this happens, it depends on where it ends up redeveloping offshore. We could have a storm here on the northeast coast, but the big show, of course, is along the west coast here, with systems continuing to stream to the north here. Interestingly enough, the European wants to bring another southern stream system. Potential for ice and snow here towards the end of the period. Although this is pretty far out, guys, I wouldn't bet any money on this. But interesting scenario if it does play out here. We kind of had, oh, look at that. Let's take a little bit deeper dive. I know it's far out, but I want to see what this looks like from the upper air pattern here. Looks like we have like an upper level low situated right there, just kind of hanging out. Low pressure developing offshore, and just you see the low pressure right there. So let's go to mid levels, and then vorticity. Yeah. Let's see what the arrow's doing here. Wants to drop a vort max down through the flow here and have it stall offshore here. And where that sets up is going to be important if this ends up happening, right? Let's go to the GFS and compare it real quick. Yeah. It has a little bit different scenario with this far out. I know this is January 2nd. I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to see. It doesn't split the flow here. It doesn't split that off. So let's look at 6E here. Not far enough out. All right, so that's enough playing around with the models. So in general, we're just going to have systems streaming onto the west coast for the most part, with high pressure at the high pressure pretty much dominating the south, with the jet stream further to the north, but maybe some systems impacting the northeast in the coming days in the mid-Atlantic. So we'll keep an eye on that in future forecasts. And here are the key messages again for the atmospheric river. If you want to stop and read this, you can. This was issued a few days ago. It'll likely be updated again the next day or so. But this is the latest with this. And here's the latest key messages for the significant wind and snow event. The gusty winds will shift to the northeast today. And you can read this as well if you want to stop and read it. Up to 70-mile-per-hour winds and moderate snowfall in some areas for the northern plains. All right. So moving on to precip here. You see we already talked about this. Slight moderate risk of heavy precip and a high risk in the dark green areas. Snow, moderate, high risk of snow all along the Cascades and Sierra and in the Intermountain West. Nothing expected, at least during this period, for anything east of the Rockies. Wind, yeah, moderate risk of high winds here still, 25th through the 31st. in these general areas, and further to the east, a slight risk in southern Alaska as well. No hazardous temperatures expected except for into Alaska. And in general, temps are still going to be above normal for a good portion of the nation except for the northeast and the northwest, and maybe along the northern California coast here. Precip chances look to stay below normal. A good portion of the southern U.S., east of the Rockies, the northern U.S., and the northeast may be above normal precip. You see the above normal chances are highest along into central and southern California area. Still high confidence in above normal temps for generally the same areas, the 25th to the 31st. And still dealing with the La Nina pattern out west here, above normal precip chances out west, and generally near normal to below normal east of the Rockies, with the exception of maybe southern Texas and the northern plains. And near normal, below normal in Alaska, with above normal chance of precip in Hawaii here. As far as week 3 to 4 temps, this still isn't updated, interestingly enough. I thought it'd be updated yesterday. That's updated tomorrow, every 7 days. So, yeah, it's the same as yesterday. Above normal precip chances, kind of splitting the nation in half. Below normal to near normal up north here. And like we talked about yesterday, La Nina, MJO, feeding moisture into the northwest. Below normal chances in the south and the southeast of precip. Equal chances in the white area. Above normal chances up here in the northeast and around the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. Equal to below chances here in Alaska, and above normal again for Hawaii. So I think that's it for today, guys. Hope you all got something out of this video, and hope you have a great day, and God bless.